Hello, my name is Curtis Reed, and I'm excited to share all of the incredible resources that you can find on Davis Digital. Davis Digital is an online platform that provides teachers and students with a wide variety of K-12 visual arts curriculum resources. In today's video, we'll be reviewing the 4 different sections of the Davis Digital platform: Ebooks, Davis Art Images, the Curriculum Builder, and Portfolios. As we move through the platform, we'll also explore some of the different ways that you can use Davis Digital in a traditional classroom environment, in a hybrid or blended learning environment, and for remote learning. Davis Digital has several resources that allow teachers and students to access high-quality curriculum materials remotely. Now I'm going to show you a little bit more about the platform. So I'm here on the Davis Digital homepage. As you can see, I have a Davis-specific URL, davis.davisartspace, and school districts will have a district-specific URL, which allows them to all log into the same platform. Davis Digital does also have the capability to link and integrate with LMS and single sign-on options. Now I'm just going to sign in here using the sign in button, and my username is my email, so I'll put my email in with my password, and you also have the ability for it to remember you, so you can click that if you want to make it easier. And now I'm here on the Davis Digital homepage. Now I want to cover the homepage just quickly before we dive into the ebooks. As you'll see, there's a scrolling banner here, which has information and updates about new resources, new editions of school arts, ways to get published, and even advocating for your art program. We also have information on upcoming webinars. And below the scrolling banner, we have some other sections of Davis Digital that are accessible here. And on the bottom here of the footer of the page, we have ways to contact us, visit our davisart.com website, and even find out the standard correlations for your state. Now I'm just going to go back to the top and cover the main sections of the Davis Digital platform: Ebooks, Curriculum Builder, Portfolios, Images, and School Arts. And I also want to mention on the right-hand side of the page, we always have a support ticket button available. If you click that, it brings up a small form you can fill out. If you're having a small issue, like you can't remember your password, you can submit the form to us and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. Right below the support ticket button, we also have the help button. This brings you to the help page. And as you can see, we have user guides and tutorial videos for several different sections of the platform. For instance, the images section here has the user guides and tutorial videos, which usually range between 2 to 3 minutes long. Now, I just want to go back to the home page, and we can get there by clicking the Davis Digital button or this home button here. Now we're back to the main Davis Digital homepage. As you can see, the help is also available at the footer down below. Now I want to jump into the Books tab so I can show you a little bit more about our ebooks that are available. We have several titles, K-12. We have an elementary program called Explorations in Art. It's a new 2nd edition right here, K through 6. We also have a middle school series. And high school level books as well. We have a brand new Art 1 textbook called The Visual Experience. We've just updated graphic design, and we have a studio series for high school. We do also have Exploring Visual Design, which covers the elements and principles and can be used for middle school or high school level courses. Now, I want to jump into one of these ebooks so you can see how it's laid out. And I'm going to go into our grade 3 book here for Explorations in Art. And now I'm opening up the page to the ebook. And one of the first things I like to do is go into full screen mode, and that's this presentation mode button right here. And that opens up the page very nicely. Now, from left to right, I'm going to go over and review these ebook controls that are available in every ebook. Starting over here farthest to the left, we have the search function. And you can see some previously searched for terms. In this case, I'm going to search for nature again, because I know there's a lesson here that I'm looking for, forces of nature. You can change the results per page, and you can see all of the places where nature appears in this third grade book. So here we are, the forces of nature section. I want to jump right there, and you actually can see that the term nature is highlighted all along the page. This right here is a pop-up image. When you see that icon, it means you can click on the image, open it up in full screen, and then what's really great is you can zoom in all the way up to 300% and see some of those incredibly fine details of this painting. So you can zoom around, click and drag on your screen, and really hone in on some of those incredible details. That's one great thing about these new editions. We do have the pop-up images and new titles. The next button along our ebook controls is the table of contents. If you click that once, the table of contents will appear. If you click it again, it will disappear. So here we are. We have a drop-down of each unit with the title. So we've got Unit 1, Alone and Together. We'll jump into that. And here we have some portrait examples by Frida Kahlo. And again, it's another pop-up image, so we could click on that, or this one as well. But you can also just double-click on the page itself, which zooms in up to 200%. And you can click and drag all over that page if you want to focus on any certain area. Here we are with the table of contents again. I'm going to go a little farther down. I'm going to go all the way down to the end of the table of contents, where we have some supplemental resources at the end of each book. As we move to the right along our ebook controls, the next function is the page view. This allows you to view a thumbnail of every page in the book to quickly navigate from one lesson to another. This is a great way to take advantage of teachable moments, and you may not remember the page or lesson, but you can quickly scroll through and find the image that's being referred to. In this case, we can jump to the Portraits section. Now this unit is Who I Am, Portraits and Self-Portraits. As you can see, we can double-click and zoom in on the page. Now the next ebook control is the page search and arrows. You can click on the arrows to go from one page to the next. Or if you know the page you're looking for, you can enter it here and go directly to the page in the book. Say page 8. And I actually love this page because this is lesson 1.3 with a painting by Michelane Thomas. I'll zoom in here and pull up this image full screen. And now the zoom slider, as you can see, just like on the ebook pages, we have one with the images. You can zoom in like I mentioned. And in this case, we get to see the fine, incredible details where this artist used rhinestones in their painting. And so that's one that we really love to show. It's absolutely stunning. And again, you can zoom in and out on the page itself with the zoom function right here. So we're at 100%. I can zoom and scroll all the way to 300 and then focus in on a certain part of the page or a certain area of the ebook. And of course, in this studio, it does also list the materials you need. But that's the zoom function. And this is the button I mentioned, the presentation mode full screen. If you click it again, this brings us out of full screen to access the books. This is our spread icon. You can click it once to just view a single page option. You can click the sides of the pages or even use your arrow keys to turn the page as well, along with those arrows I mentioned. And now back to the standard 2-page view. And all the way here, the last control that we have along the ebook controls is the share icon. The share icon easily allows you to share a lesson with anyone, such as a substitute teacher or parent. They'll receive an email with a link to view the lesson without logging into Davis Digital. So this is a great way to share lessons with students who might be on vacation, or parents who might want to see what you're doing in class, or even your administrator. If your teaching process is based on using Google Classroom or another LMS and you don't want to change your workflow, you can easily use Davis content to enhance, extend, and support your existing lessons. You can try copying the URL of the student book page and paste it into your LMS. Students can then click on the link, log into their account, and then they'll be brought directly to that page in the book. You can also use the built-in screenshot feature on your computer to capture a page or lesson from the book. Upload the screenshot to the lesson in your LMS. You can also record video using screencast software and post it to Google Classroom, Seesaw, Canvas, or any other platform that you use. Now that we've looked into the Student Edition, I want to make sure we cover a little bit more about the Teacher Edition and Teacher Resources. To get to the Teacher Resources, you click on this Books tab again, and because we were in the Grade 3 book, I'm going to show you the Grade 3 Teacher Resources. You just click this link here, and it brings up a drop-down menu of all of our documentation and resources that are affiliated with that book. All teacher resources can be downloaded as PDFs, and the assessments are customizable Word documents. These documents and studio rubrics can also be shared with your students in the classroom or shared with them via your LMS. And as you can see, these are just some examples of the Level 3 Studio Exploration Unit Review rubrics. Now we're in the Teacher Edition, and all of the ebook controls are the same from left to right, but in the table of contents you'll notice there's a few extra resources, including planning guides, cross-curricular connections, even unit reviews. So there are quite a bit more materials and support in each Teacher Edition. And now we're going to go back down to our Forces of Nature unit where we were in the Student Edition before, so I can show you a little bit more about the wraparound content that's available in each Teacher Edition. So for elementary, this is what each Teacher Edition will look like. The center here is the student pages that we saw before in the Student Edition ebook, and everything else along the edges and sides are the teacher wraparound material. Prepare, teach through inquiry, assess, close, and then we even have highlighted unit vocabulary here so that you can reference and reflect on what you learned. All the functions are the same again, the navigation bar and the ebook controls. The zoom function works the exact same. And so as you can see, the Teacher Edition does have a lot more content in the book. Back to the page view, the Teacher Edition also has information on ways you can support your students and teach using the ebook. It shows you where to find differentiated instruction, information about the artists, STEAM connections, and all the different areas that'll be helpful to you as an art educator. So I'm going to jump back out of full screen. And now that we've covered one of the books, I do want to show you a little bit more about our images. With every Davis Digital purchase of an ebook, you will receive the Davis Art Images library with over 25,000 fine art images from museums around the world. With the Davis Art Images library, teachers and students have access to high-quality fine art images showcasing artwork created across time and from different cultures around the world. Teachers can expand their curriculum and bring the museum directly to their students with the Davis Art Images. As you can see, you can search through a variety of ways, including keyword, artist last name, title, and so on. I also have my tagged sets over here in all these color-coded sections with previously tagged images that I've already searched for. Now I'm going to search for some images. In this case, I'm going to look for the keyword African American, subject, portraits, just to show you how in-depth you can get with your searches. And so once the images load, you can select which image you'd like to view. Now this is a painting, a portrait by Calvin Burnett. And of course, you can full screen or download the image. You can tag it to a set. You can also see that the images are correlated to specific lessons in the textbooks, so you can easily find images to extend each chapter and lesson in any Davis ebook. So in this case, Studio 2.3, Exploration Drawing a Daily Life Portrait. So this will bring up other images that are associated with that lesson. And what you can do, which is wonderful, is select two images. Here we'll select the Calvin Burnett photo and this other portrait here of a woman, and we can compare and contrast. And now say we want to compare these two portraits of these two women, we can select those, and now we have a side-by-side of those two images. You can also tag your own image sets using your own keywords, such as a specific class or lesson, artist or concept, and you can create your own tagged set. This is what I'm doing here, and I'm adding them to the tagged set called Portraits. And now if I go into my tagged images, you can see there's a section here called Portraits, and that is the set of images I just selected. This is a great way to organize images so you can easily find them. And you can access your tagged image sets from the home pages in Tagged Images section. And they're all generated right here. And not only can I share this slideshow, but I can run a slideshow and have the images I just selected and tagged scroll through. You can change the amount of time an image is on a screen, the background color from white to black, or any kind of grayscale. And you can simply pause if you want to just focus or stop on one image in particular. Sharing a slideshow is possible, and we can definitely let you know how to do that. Another thing you can do is you can rearrange the images. Once you've selected them or created a set, you can just simply drag and drop if you want a different order of those images. So when you display as slideshows, one of the great things you can do is customize a slideshow by arranging the order of the images. You can also create online slideshows by clicking Run Slideshow. Or you can show the slideshow as part of a lesson to encourage students to view it on their own. This would be how I share a slideshow. I can enter my own keyword. In this case, if I write portraits, if I were to submit that, then anyone in my network would be able to then come back to the homepage under Shared Image Slideshows and search for that keyword. This means your students and other colleagues will always be able to access the slideshow that was shared with them, in addition to sharing their own image sets. This is an example of a slideshow that I created because we were doing a presentation on CTE, Print and Design Advertising classes. And here are some artworks that I searched for using the keyword design. One great thing about Davis Art Images with students is that you can have a slideshow running as they enter class, or you can even have it as a jumping point to discuss images that they were viewing or how it relates to their next lesson or project. You can use the compare and contrast feature to discuss and critique artwork, and students with a Davis Digital account can compare and contrast images for close observation. They can use this for writing prompts, addressing state standards for English language arts, and if students don't have an account, the images can be downloaded and then uploaded to a slideshow or your LMS. You can then share this tagged image set and a writing prompt with your students for assessment. Students can use Davis Art Images to study art movements, artists, cultures throughout all of history. They can work independently to curate their own slideshows. They can create slideshows and share them with you along with their peers, and use written reflection in their portfolios. They can curate virtual exhibition by selecting artworks from the collection and placing them into a slideshow. You can even place students in small groups, assign them a topic or artist, and have them work together to create a slideshow to introduce the new concept, artwork, or artist to the class. You could even go on a virtual field trip and use the Davis Art Images Museum to search and expand your curriculum, to explore artwork from leading museums and galleries. Davis Art Images has over 25,000 fine art images from museums around the world. So just imagine all the ways that you can incorporate them into your virtual or in-person classroom. Now that we've looked at the Davis Art Images and the ebooks, I want to show you a little bit more about the Curriculum Builder. The Curriculum Builder is a lesson building and presentation tool that can be used to combine ebook pages, Davis Art images, and other content together in one place. Even if you haven't created any lessons in Davis Digital, you'll have access to these sample lessons right here. This is a K-5 lesson here that a teacher put together. In this case, it's on the mollusk cloth tradition. It lists the objectives, the materials, the procedures. It even has a link to an ebook page and a video here. And it shows you that you can add in pictures, create them as slideshows. This teacher even added a School Arts magazine article. Now, if you hit this edit button right here on the top right, it'll open the lesson into an edit mode where you can add content using these different modules. So you can add some text here, talk about what the lesson will cover. There's also a few other modules here, including gallery, fine art images, videos, even presentations. And then you can simply click on content that you've already built and edit it right here in the window. Similar to a Microsoft Word document, it has different ways to edit text. And now I do want to jump into a high school example of a studio. This is the Expressive Sculpture Studio. As you can see, there's a pretty great image here that the teacher included. And at any point with any lesson, you can export them as a PDF, which is wonderful. You can save and print them out. But I'm just going to preview this lesson so we can see it, how it would look when the lesson's finished. It incorporates the essential questions, the project guidelines, of course, procedures, and this is actually a link to a studio in our book, The Visual Experience. This is a studio experience, figurative clay sculpture, so of course this is relevant to the expressive sculpture lesson that we're looking at now. That opens up in a different window, and so you can just pop right back out to your ebook and to your curriculum builder. There's some slideshows of student artwork and then different examples. And now I'm just going to go back to the curriculum builder. You can see there's a create button right here. And this is how you build a lesson or start to build a lesson. You can use a blank template or start creating one with a lesson you've already created. You name your class, and then you can even add other editors, people who can collaborate, and viewers, people who can take a look at your lesson, or colleagues in your district who will have access to it. And that's the curriculum builder. The next thing I want to cover is the portfolios. Portfolios are included with all Davis Digital teacher and student accounts, and in terms of functionality, they're very similar to the curriculum builder. There's a create button right here, as you can see, which is very similar to how we just were building a lesson. And so we're going to take a look at one of our example portfolios. This is a public teacher portfolio here. As you can see, it's for a teacher named Jennifer Hudson. She's from Shawnee Mission. And she made her portfolio public so it can be accessed outside of the Davis Digital environment. This means that anyone you share your portfolio URL with can access it regardless of whether or not they have a Davis Digital account. And as you can see, there's several different categories and subcategories that the teacher created with examples of the course objectives. You can even create slideshows in here as well. So a teacher portfolio can be a public portfolio that you use to advocate for your art program. You can then add the link to your school webpage, email signature, or on parent letters that are sent home. That way, parents and students can come and find your portfolio with information about the syllabus, and in this case, they also shared a rubric. And now this other portfolio here, this is an example of a personal portfolio. In this case, it's for a student. Her name is Emily Whalen. She's from Connecticut. And she's included artwork that she's made out of ceramics, paintings, and other drawings. Whether students are in class, working remotely, or in a hybrid learning situation, they can create portfolios to showcase their artwork. They can document each stage of a project, share their reflections or critiques, and track their progress over a semester. Since all students are required to add their teacher as an administrator, they'll have access to grade student work that's been uploaded to the portfolios. Students can use the DavisArt images or their own photos to create slideshows in their portfolio, and you can even have students create their own portfolios to use as a way to reflect on their work and to track their progress over the year or the semester. Student presentations can also be used in the portfolios. You can have students work in groups to create portfolios on an important topic like an artist, an art movement, or a career. Then you can have them present their research to all their peers using the portfolio they created. Portfolios are also a great way to keep students and their work organized. You can have them upload artwork and track their progress in order to see what types of improvements they've made over the course of a semester or year. And now that we've covered the portfolios, I do want to just go into one of the last sections of Davis Digital, which is the School Arts section. And every teacher or student who has an account on Davis Digital will have access to the latest edition of School Arts, as well as the ability to browse previous issues. And as you can see here, we have several School Arts magazine issues available, which cover a variety of very relevant topics. Now again, you can go back to the Davis Digital homepage by clicking this button here, and it brings me back to this homepage where we have the scrolling banner with updates, information. All of the main sections of Davis Digital are here, as well as the help page. On the footer of the page, we also have our davisart.com website with information about our free resources. If you click Learn More here on the scrolling banner, it brings you to davisart.com/free resources. And I'd like to invite you to visit this page because there's a new section here that's been specifically created for art educators. We include support, inspiration, and quality materials to use in online, traditional, or hybrid classroom environments. You'll find access to webinars, studio lessons, video lessons, our guide to teaching art online, and professional development. One of the most important things you'll find is access to our free 90-day trial of Davis Digital. You can sample for free by going to davisart.com/sample or clicking the link here. If you fill out the form and choose which books you want, you'll have access to Davis Digital and these features for 90 days. With your free 90-day trial, you'll get access to the full student edition of all the ebooks and the functionality we just covered. We invite you to visit davisart.com/free resources in order to find samples of our ebooks, assistance for teaching art online, equity, diversity, and inclusion resources, and more. Please remember that Davis Digital is here to support you in all of your efforts, and you can take a trial at any time at davisart.com/free resources. Thank you so much for watching our Davis Digital overview. Please feel free to contact us with any questions. A Davis Digital team member will be happy to assist you if you'd like more information on pricing, our ebook class sets, or any other Davis Digital related questions. We hope that this presentation has been helpful and encouraged you as art educators to incorporate Davis Digital into your visual arts classroom. We wish you well as you move forward and continue to teach art online, in person, and in hybrid classroom environments.